Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am sitting at my desk and I'm going to do like a question tag type of video tonight. Here's why. I couldn't think of anything else to do. Well, I could think of a whole bunch of things. I want very much to start another like quilt top project, but I need a video for tonight, and I was like, man, I don't want to just like try to knock out some quilt top. That was going to just be way too stressful for me. And I didn't really feel like crocheting. I didn't go out today, so I didn't do a car vlog. I didn't really want to do a car vlog. I've done a lot of those lately. So I thought, let's just resort to something that might be fun. And I've done a few like would you rathers, and I wasn't in the mood for that. So I looked online for like question tags, and I found a lot of them. They're pretty much all the same, and I've done some things like this before, but probably a long time ago, and we have a lot of new peanuts in the gallery, so I'm going to do it again. It usually, you know, makes me think of something to talk about along the way, so let's just get started. All right. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the refrigerator, where am I? This way. I'm always asked, what's that shit on the refrigerator? It's just popsicle sticks that Skylar glued to magnets a long time ago, and I have a lot of them, and I used to write words on the refrigerator. I need to start doing that again. It's kind of fun. And right now, most of them are on the front of the refrigerator. My nephew and niece were here a couple, I don't know, last week or something, a few days ago. And, you know, they played with them. That's all they are. They're like popsicle sticks on magnets, and she like glued beads and buttons and all different things on them. Okay, let's get started. I guess I will need glasses. That's why I keep putting them on and off my face. What is your full name? Well, you guys know most of my name, Darlene and Michaud, and my middle name is Susan. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? You know, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever asked. I don't know if they, well, they would have probably had to have an idea because back then they didn't know if they were having a boy or a girl. So, but I do know that it would have started with R because the boys in this family start with R, like my father. My father's name was Roland. And the girls, though, start with D. My mother's name is Marguerite, so I don't know where the D came from, but it would have started with an R if I would have been a boy. I hope not like Darlene. Where were you born? Right here in Sanford, Maine, in the United States. Can you do a split? I used to want so much to be able to do a split when I was a kid, but no, I never could. I never will be able to. If you ever see me in the position of a split, that means I have been in a really bad accident. That's not happening. Do you remember your dreams? I do. Sometimes I have dreams that I remember for years and years because they were that disturbing. But I generally remember my dreams, and, you know, sometimes, of course, that fades away. But, you know, sometimes I do have those times where I wake up and it's, like, so vivid. But then 5 minutes later, I can't even remember what it was. But I generally remember my dreams. Eye color used to be green. I don't know if they're more hazel. And I still say I think they're green. And when I was in my 20s and maybe in my 30s too, I don't remember for how long, I had green soft contact lenses. It was kind of weird. It was very freaky. Do you sleep with the lights on or off? Lights off, but TV on, but not because I want the light, just because I want the noise or I just want to be watching something to fall asleep. The TV, I have a TV here that's next to me, and that doesn't usually go on at all when I'm working all day, unless there's something that is happening in the world that I want to be listening to, or if I'm just, you know, I just need something to help me get through the day. But the TV where I go to bed, because I sleep on a couch in the living room, That's off all day, and I put it on the moment I lay down, and I turn it off when I get up. So it's on all night, every night. What is your favorite drink? Okay, what I drink is water, exclusively. Especially right now, I'm just really cutting back to just the nitty-gritty, and I've been doing just beef and water, not even seltzer, not even my, you know, my plain clear seltzer, and not any bacon, nothing, just beef and water. I mean, if I had to choose a drink that I really would love to drink on a regular basis, if I could, I don't know. It wouldn't be any kind of juice. It would have to maybe be a soda of some kind, just for the carbonation. That would be good. And I'd probably go with something like Moxie, because I love Moxie. And if it was an alcoholic drink, I might go for, as much as I loved margaritas, they were, you know, a little bit sour sometimes. I loved like Screwdriver vodka, anything with vodka, tequila, rum, mixed with anything, I would drink it. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, I have a hard time with this. I really love ice cream. I don't eat any of it, but I've always liked the more like the sweet, nutty ice creams. I don't care for the like cherry vanilla and, you know, stuff like that. I don't want the fruity shit. I liked nutty and stuff with caramel even more than chocolate. So I really think that butter pecan, or if you're from the South, butter pecan, I think butter pecan would have to be probably my favorite. Do love. Haven't had that in a very long time. Where's your favorite place to take an out-of-town guest? Assuming I would ever have an out-of-town guest. I don't. I think, you know, depends. If they're not like someplace where they can see a beach, well, I would definitely take them to the coast. That's pretty much it. We can go to the White Mountains in New Hampshire. But I would generally pick, I think, the coast and just ride along the coast. I think that would be nice. Which I want to do this summer as ride-alongs with Skylar. I would like us to go and actually show you some things instead of just Main Street. What was your favorite subject in high school? Very easy. It's almost a tie. Math, favorite by far. English, grammar, that's got to be second. Just loved those subjects. Math, just, oh, I love it so much. It's exciting me just to think about it. I had a calculator. Oh, it was so cool. What was your least favorite subject in high school? I really liked school. I liked learning. I didn't like anything about actually like going to school and being a part of that, the social aspect of it. I struggled with so many things in school, except I liked to learn. So I was good at that part. And I was very good at taking tests, and I love history. I love to watch anything about history, read about history, but I didn't do as well on the tests on history. I just wouldn't retain the things. I would have to say that was my least favorite subject, because I might have got like an A-. I was a good student, unless I was just completely checked out, which there was a large part of my school years when that happened. All right, let's not talk about all that shit. Are you scared of heights? No, not at all. Even if I like look and I kind of get vertigo, as long as I know I'm safe, I kind of like that. It's like woo, woo, kind of feels freaky like that. Are you high maintenance? Yeah, I'm going to start shopping for $2 glasses instead of Dollar Tree specials, because I'm high maintenance. Are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potential of others? I'm building my own fucking empire. That's what I'm doing right now. No, definitely I am more inclined to build my own empire. I don't know anybody who's got a work ethic like I do. It's more like an obsession and an actual illness. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? No, I'm avoiding conflict at all costs. I'll be like, you know, running in the opposite direction. Don't need any of that shit. Dog person or cat person? I'm going to say dog because I do have an allergy to cats, although I think that it's not as bad as an adult, and I do love cats. I have nothing against cats. I love them both. I would love all animals, but I would have to say a dog person, and I don't have any more pets now. Are you a fan of any sports team? No, not really. I will root for whoever, like, my son wants me to root for. When my husband was alive, whatever he said he wanted, that's who I wanted. And I enjoy that. I enjoy watching the sports and getting excited, and, you know, so it's kind of fun. You know, I like it, but I don't have any of my own favorites. Am I a good cook? Yes, if you consider throwing things together and calling it food. I think what makes me a good cook is the fact that I do experiment and I don't follow any fucking rules. You know that about me. You know that. Don't measure anything. Put any flavor I want. Who is the best teacher you ever had? And I was just thinking about her because she recently died. She was my business math teacher in high school. You know, I had quite a few teachers that, like, really? Quite a few? No, I had a few teachers who made an impression on me. But Mrs. Chick, she was one that, and that was her name, Mrs. Chick. She was one that others didn't really care for, and they didn't warm up to her. And I loved her. She was just, you know, we're here to learn. We're here to do math. You know, I was like, yes. And she made a really hard part of my life a little bit more manageable just because she was there and just because of the way she taught. And I just really loved her. One thing that I remember is that she said, when you are working, do your own taxes. Everybody can do it. And I always have done my taxes just because she said that. I was like, this must be an important thing. We need to do our own taxes. She's like, if you don't do your own taxes, then you have no business earning money. So I was like, okay, I'm always doing my taxes. And I always wanted to reach out to her and let her know that she, you know, impacted me in that way. I know I saw her maybe 20, 30 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. She was actually helping to run a thrift store, and I know I told her then, and, you know, I don't know, she probably hears that all the time, like, or maybe never, you know, most people didn't like her, I did, but now she died, I just saw it, she was, like, very old, maybe like 96, just died recently. Who is the worst boss you ever had? Oh, I have to think. I've had a lot of bosses because I did a lot of different jobs before I became this worst boss. You know, if I didn't like a boss, I didn't hang around enough to know how bad they probably could have been. But I did work this one job for maybe 3 or 4 days, and I can't even remember what the business was, but I know where it was, and it was an office, and it was him and another guy, and sometimes it was only just one of them in the office, and then me and another woman, but the boss man, he would be, like, just alone. Sometimes it was just him, and then me and the other woman, and he'd either be on the phone or whatever, and he'd hang up, and he would have a fucking fit, just screaming and swearing, "You goddamn fucking asshole." I mean, it was like, holy shit, you know, I could hear things like banging, like, what is he doing? It was, I've never heard anybody act like that outside of my home here with me doing it. No, but you know what I'm saying? It was just so incredibly unprofessional. And then one time I was alone with him and I was in another office and I just was like fucking petrified. And I was like, I have to get out of here. And that was it. I left. I was like, I'm not going to put up with this shit. As if. He was just nuts. Can you whistle? I can only whistle like, I can't do the, you know, that big loud screechy one. But I can do that. Can you dance? I think I did about as good as everybody else on the dance floor. I loved to dance. I went out to clubs all the time in my 20s and, you know, even in my teens. And I was a pretty good dancer. I mean, I don't do wild and weird things. Nobody wants to be that person on the dance floor, so I did all right. Do you save old greeting cards and letters or throw them away? Well, I was one to save everything. I'm never saving anything like that again. First of all, I don't get greeting cards anymore or letters, unless I do get some from fans, I should say, and I throw them away. I can't keep adding to stuff like that in my life. I just can't. So I'm a thrower, awayer now of those types of things. But I still do have one of the birthday cards that my husband gave me, and it's on his box of ashes, which really is in my dresser drawer. I know some of you thought when you heard that phone message that I took, and look, the phone is right here in case it would ring. You know, I said that to one of the women that called, a solicitation call, and it was funny because she's like, oh, he's dead? Do you have another address for him? You know, it's kind of funny. Do you spell the color as gray, E-Y, or gray, A-Y? I spell it G-R-A-Y. That's my preferred spelling of that word. I don't know if there's a reason to use one way or the other, but that's how I spell it. Oh, do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? I loved both of those movies, but I can watch The Notebook repeatedly, and I cry every fucking time. I just like that. I like the story more, and the heartbreak and all that shit. The Titanic was good, but I've seen it enough. I don't watch it like if it's on for a repeat or whatever. Notebook, I will watch The Notebook every time it's on. Do you have a garden? I don't, but I used to. I used to love gardening, and I grew a lot of things. Tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, green beans, and it was just something I really enjoyed doing. But we had a swimming pool, so I'd be out there and I'd be so hot, and then I would just jump in the pool to cool off, and then I could get out and do some more. So that was kind of cool. Yes, I would actually like do gardening in swimwear. And it was easy. Or I also would have the hose, and I could just hose myself off. There was one time I had a garden like close enough to the pool that I would be in the pool with the hose, and I would be able to water the garden while I was in the pool, just treading water. It was fun. Do you believe in love at first sight? Not with the people that I'm looking at. Or those who are looking at me. No, I do believe that people can have that feeling at first sight. I don't know if it's necessarily love, but no, love at first sight, oh my God. That's what totally keeps me from ever dating anyone from a dating site. I have to look at them first. It's like, no, I'd have a better chance if I didn't have to see them. And it's not because I'm that fussy. It's that it's just, you know, when you get to know somebody, because I like and am attracted to men that I don't consider handsome. Like many women would, you know, have certain men that they think are handsome. Like my adult crush is David Letterman. I just love him. I love his looks, his height. I love tall and thin, and of course his sense of humor. So that's my kind of guy right there. And I also used to think Gary Busey, I know I've said this before, Gary Busey, but he's whacked now, so but he still seems nice, and I don't know, I would be attracted to that kind of a guy. Who else? Like, I'm not attracted to like Brad Pitt, although I'm warming up to him more as he's getting older. I don't like a pretty boy, I guess is what I'm trying to say, like boy band kind of guys. I'm not into that. And Brad Pitt, but now when I see him, I'm like, oh, he's aging there. His face is looking a little bit more aged, and I like that. You know, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know. I try not to think of those things. Who performs the most random acts of kindness out of everyone you know? Well, this is going to be pretty easy because I don't have very many people in my life, and none of us are kind. It's a tie between Derek and Skylar. But Skylar, I know for a fact, is kind. She thinks of others before herself all the time, and she's always more concerned. Like, even when we go to the store, she never, and since she was little, she never says, oh, can I have this, can I have that? I mean, she'll say it, but not first. First, it's always like, when we go to the store, can I get something for my mom? Or can I get something for my brother? Can I get something for daddy? That's why I knew she was going to like to make pajama pants for her father. I knew it was going to be exciting for her to make something for him, that she was going to be able to give him something more than even the sewing. She's not in love with sewing. She doesn't have that, oh my God, please, Meme, can we start sewing now? Not yet, but I'm going to always sew with her a little bit and try to find ways to make her interested, because I do want her to learn how to sew. She doesn't have to sew and, you know, do that all the time. But it's handy to know how to sew. Something rips, you can sew it. Just like I would like her to learn how to crochet and knit, but she isn't into those things, and it's not because she's only 10, because by 10, I was fucking trying to crochet anything I could. Even if I didn't know, I taught myself how to read pattern books, and, you know, I just wanted to do it. I sewed well before I ever remember being on a machine. I just, you know, would take a needle and thread, and, you know, I don't know, I was very, very young because I had dolls and I had clothes that it was the most ridiculous things that I would put together, but I would do it. I wanted to do it. So you usually can tell if it's something that's just built in or not. But she is crafty, at least, so, you know, she can at least learn these things. Who was your first celebrity crush? I really would have to think it was Donny Osmond, but I had several. I had Donny and David Cassidy. So that was a little bit older because I had to watch Donny and, you know, the Osmond brothers on the Andy Williams show. And I just was really in love with him. And I remember, like, when he was little, so I was watching it at that time. But then David Cassidy, I even loved Bobby Sherman. And I'm sure there were some others, but those were the ones that were just like my... Oh, Davy Jones. I had a big, big crush on Davy Jones. Probably about it, I guess. I don't know. What is your most used swear word? That's too funny. I don't know. Probably fuck, just because I say it, you know, often on videos, because the ones I really like, I still don't spew those out in videos, especially like a quilting or sewing one. I don't mind, you know, dropping the F-bomb on one of those videos, but if I really swore in my videos like I do in real life, even here at home alone, it's how I entertain myself. I would lose so many subscribers for the crafty stuff, because they would be just like, what the fuck? Well, they probably wouldn't be like that. They'd be like, what on earth is that woman doing? They probably would be saying what the fuck to themselves, but they think it's not nice to say that out loud. Assholes. There's one more, and it's, oh, I like it. Do you have a catchphrase? Fuck a bunch of catchphrase. I think fuck a bunch of is probably what I'm popular for, but I have to give my husband credit for that one, because that's what he used to always say, and it always cracked me up, you know, and I just liked it. And then, of course, do love. We do have do love. So it's like from one extreme to the other. Fuck a bunch of and do love. All right, you guys. Gee, I hope you enjoyed this a little bit. It's different. I haven't been doing it for like a long time. I used to do more things like this. I actually used to do them like to the point where it's like I can't do these anymore, you know? Things get old, but then they get new again. So I'm going to try to have some other kinds of videos for you, but again, this is Friday. We needed our Friday night date night premiere video, and now we have one. So I'm so glad about that. And I do want to do something crafty coming up soon. I just need more than like a couple of hours to plan it and do it and upload it. So this was a better fit for tonight, but I am going to work on something else very soon. Bye!